Exact salary figures for the cast of The Andy Griffith Show are not comprehensively documented in public records, but some details have emerged from various sources, including books, interviews, and historical context. Here's what is known about the pay for key cast members during the show's run from 1960 to 1968, with values reflecting the era's economy, not adjusted for inflation unless noted. Andy Griffith, Andy Taylor. As the star and a co-owner of the show through Mayberry Enterprises, Griffith earned significantly more than his castmates. His annual salary during production is estimated at around $84,000 per year, according to some accounts. This figure comes from his role as both actor and producer, with ownership stakes amplifying his earnings. For context, $84,000 in 1960 is roughly equivalent to $900,000 today, 2025, though his income likely grew over the 8 seasons as the show's success solidified. His ownership also meant he profited from syndication later, contributing to a net worth estimated at $25 million at his death in 2012. Don Knotts, Barney Fife. Knotts, who appeared in the first 5 seasons, earned about $1,250 per episode, totaling roughly $35,000 annually for a typical 28 to 32 episode season. This is cited in Daniel DeVisey's book, Andy and Dawn. While decent for a supporting TV actor in the early 1960s, equivalent to about $375,000 per year in 2025 dollars, it was modest compared to Griffith's haul. Knotts reportedly sought a stake in the show's ownership after season 5, which didn't materialize, leading to his departure for a film career with Universal Pictures. His 5 Emmy wins reflect his value, but he lacked the financial leverage Griffith had. Ron Howard, Opie Taylor. Specific per-episode pay for Ron Howard as a child actor isn't widely detailed, but child actors of the era typically earned far less than adults. Estimates suggest he made a few $100s per episode, possibly $200 to $500, aligning with industry norms for young performers. Given his long tenure and later comments that he didn't receive residuals, which weren't standard for TV until the 1970s, his earnings were likely modest, perhaps $5,000 to $15,000 annually during the show's run. Adjusted to 2025, that's roughly $50,000 to $150,000 per year. Frances Bavier, Aunt B. No precise figures exist for Bavier, but as a main cast member, her pay likely fell between Knotts and Howard's, possibly $500 to $1,000 per episode, or $14,000 to $30,000 per season. Supporting actors in popular 1960s sitcoms typically earned in this range, and her consistent presence across all 8 seasons suggests a steady, if not extravagant, income. George Lindsay Goober Pyle. Lindsay, who joined in season 4, reportedly earned less than Knotts. For the 1986 reunion movie Return to Mayberry, he was offered $20,000 for his role, which he initially declined until Griffith personally appealed to him. This suggests his per-episode pay in the 1960s was likely $500 to $1,000, typical for a recurring character, equating to $15,000 to $25,000 per season. During the early 1960s, when The Andy Griffith Show aired, a supporting actor on a successful network sitcom might have earned anywhere from $500 to $1,500 per episode, depending on their experience, popularity, and negotiation power. Jim Nabors started as a guest star in 1962 and became a regular by 1964, so his pay likely increased over time. Given Nabors' growing popularity, eventually leading to his spin-off Gomer Pyle, USMC, he might have earned closer to the higher end of that range, perhaps $1,000 to $2,000 per episode by his later seasons. Over a 25-episode season, that could translate to $25,000 to $50,000 annually, though this is speculative without hard data. Inflation adjusted, that's roughly $250,000 to $500,000 in today's dollars. Context and notes. Salaries in the 1960s were lower than today's TV standards due to smaller budgets and fewer revenue streams, no streaming or extensive syndication deals up front. A top TV actor might earn $1,000 to $5,000 per episode, while stars with ownership like Griffith reaped bigger rewards. The show's sponsor, General Foods, and Ford's provision of cars, noted in credits, supplemented production costs, but this didn't directly boost actor pay. Residuals weren't standard until later, so only Griffith, with his ownership, significantly benefited from reruns long-term. These figures are pieced together from secondary sources like Andy and Don by Daniel Devisay, Richard Kelly's The Andy Griffith Show book, and General Industry Insights. Exact contracts remain private, so these are educated estimates based on available data and the era's pay scales. The disparity between Griffith's earnings and his co-stars reflects his dual role as star and producer, a common dynamic in classic TV.